welcome to this month's womensministry.net video devotional. I'm Jennifer Rothschild, and I'm so glad you're here. You know, something happened to me about a week ago. I burned myself when I was trying to make a grilled cheese sandwich, you know, the hazards of cooking. But I kept every day putting medicine on this burn, and every time I would put medicine on my burn, I remembered something that happened about 10 years ago with a pediatrician and our youngest son. You see, our youngest son, Connor, was just a little guy, and we had this wonderful pediatrician, Dr. C. I loved him. He was a gentle, petite man. He had a Spanish accent. He was a devout Christian, and I'll never forget the day that I took in little Connor for him to get some shots. And as I was holding Connor, Dr. Chapman noticed that I had a burn on my hand, and he said, "Oh, are you putting something on that?" And I said, "Yes, I'm putting Cord-Aid on it." And he said, "Oh, no. And if you're medical at all, you'll realize that that really was a very bad choice." I just didn't know any better. So anyway, he says, "Oh, no. And he turns around to the cabinet and he pulls out a cream and he hands it to me. And he says, "Don't use that other cream anymore. I want you to use this so that your burn will heal." And before I could even say okay or thank you or anything, he said, staring straight into my face, "Do that for me, okay?" Well, of course I did. But I've remembered his phrase because he said, "Do that for me." And most of the time when we go to a doctor, you know, they say, "Do this or do that," and that's perfectly appropriate. But something about that doctor, that physician, personalizing the request just made it more meaningful, and I really wanted to do it for the doctor. Well, for years, I've read scripture, and I think I've read scripture and I've heard, "Do that, do this, do that." But lately, I've begun to hear the words of the great physician, "Do that for me." Here's what I mean. So let's say I'm having a day where I'm grumpy and ungrateful or whatever it is. I'll remind myself of the scripture in 1 Thessalonians 5:17 that says to rejoice always and be thankful in all things. And years past, I would go, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be thankful. I'm going to be thankful. I'm going to do that. And now I think, no, I'm going to be thankful. I'm going to do that for him. And what a difference it's made in my longing to please God. You see, obedience is what we're called to do. But when we do that for him, not merely for the sake of duty and being obedient, it ushers in a degree of intimacy. I don't anymore hear scripture as just a series of marching orders and mandates, do this, do that. Now I hear it more as the gentle whisper of a great physician who says, "Do this for me, because ultimately it will bring you the healing that you need." So I don't know where you are in your faith journey, and I don't know how you hear the words of Scripture when you read them, but I challenge you to listen to the words of Scripture, to read them, and anytime you hear a "do that" command, add those two words, "for me," and see how it ushers in a degree of intimacy with the great physician. If you're with a group today watching this video, I would just love it if you guys would discuss among yourself the difference between "do that" and "do that for me," and talk about how obedience ushers in intimacy with God. I'm really glad you joined me today, and so glad you join us all the time at womensministry.net. Womensministry.net is better when you show up, so visit us there at the website and join the community. God bless you. Have a great day.